Peoples of the universe, please attend carefully. The message that follows is vital to the future of you all.
Yes, indeed. This message, as all my messages are, vital to the future of you all. This is a bit of a surprise. I wasn't planning on doing this at all tonight. I was just about to sit in front of the TV and relax. I thought, I actually want to have a bit of a chat. It's been a very, very interesting 24 hours for me. And I want to have like a bit of a chat. So let me just say, CJ Cabell, 37, good evening. Everything is well. Thank praise the good Lord. Sadagove 24 Meta, good evening. How are you? Problem being, are you being a problem? I think not somehow. And Kim Ellis, good evening. How are you? Yeah, so I'll waffle for a few minutes to let people wander in, because this was very off the cuff. I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is what I do. By the way, I don't know if you do things privately and you don't know, does everybody do this or is it just me, right? And I talk to myself a lot, like I monologue a lot. That's why I haven't been making a YouTube channel. Wasn't that big of a deal. It took me a while to like tune into it, but like I do these monologues a lot, and I was doing this monologue about this these last 24 hours, which have been really weird, really strange. Not really, more of a window onto the very strange, and that's really what it was. So yeah, and I got a lot of what I think profound insights that we can all learn from this. It's yeah. So yeah, so I thought, I'll do that rather than I didn't know what I was going to watch. I was thinking of trying to binge watch the Umbrella Academy season 1 again before season 2 drops. We got about a week or two, so I don't know. So I normally do live streams on Thursdays, but I didn't today because today is the 17th of Tammuz. It's the Jewish month of Tammuz. And it is not a good day. It's not a good day. This is the day that Jerusalem was besieged by, I don't know, the Romans, I guess, and then who was the second? Who was the first one? The Greeks, maybe. When Jerusalem was besieged, and then 3 weeks from now is the worst day of the year. The worst day of the year. So today, the restriction basically was you couldn't eat or drink from sun up to sundown, right? And it was very Ramadani, right? You couldn't eat eat or drink. So I figured I'll just be kind of like jiggered by the end of it, and I just probably wouldn't be up to streaming. And then, as I said, I was monologuing to myself. I said, Svi, rather than just say this to yourself, rather than just say this to yourself, this actually sounds like a pretty decent bit of content, video. I don't know what you would call it. Look, good evening. This is my first coffee of the day. Oh, Genuine Comics, how are you? I do hope your Kickstarter. I saw you got your goal. Your Indiegogo, not Kickstarter. I'm sorry. I still say Hoover for vacuum. I sorry did well. I'm sure there's still time to back it. It was a really cool comic. Look at look, when I'm done with this stream, I'll put the link to the video where we talked about the comic. Well, I really hope you have some left, so you can see it's really worth backing. Really, really good. Badwell666, how are you? Who have I missed? I don't think I missed anybody. Look at me doing good. Anyway, so today is the 17th of summer, so you couldn't eat. But it starts a period of mourning called the 3 weeks, which for right now the restrictions get heavier as you go along. You can eat and drink again. Thank God for that. Hello, that's my coffee. And then but you can't listen to music or get a haircut or make a wedding. That's why I got a haircut. That's exactly why, because you can't do it for the 3 weeks. Anyway, 3 weeks is basically a time of like, if it's gonna go to shit, it'll go for the Jews. That is, if it's gonna go to shit, it's right now. It's right now. It's the worst time. It's like when Jerusalem was destroyed, the temple was destroyed. It's when Moses died. It's just everything bad happens in these 3 weeks. So anyway, Kelly, how are you? Good evening. So it's for the first 2 weeks of them, you just you can't listen to music, they make a wedding, but then when that's until the end of the month of Tammuz. Then when you hit the month of Av, it gets on. That's my birthday actually in Av. is basically August. Then these restrictions get much more severe. You cannot eat meat or drink wine for those 9 days until reach Tisha B'Av, the 9th of the month of Av, which is the heaviest mourning day of the year, and you can't eat or drink for 25 hours. Or have sex, you know. So I'm glad they put all that together. Really, if I'm not eating drink for 25 hours, you don't have to tell me I'm not having sex. You know, I think we're all on board with that. You know, I am an elderly gentleman at this point in time. You know, I don't have access to pumps or whatever one would need. Let me see. I've ended up buying Resolution Daleks, and they started repainting them in Big Finish. And oh, that's interesting. Livery. Big Finish, by the way. I just started listening to the Missy set at the box set. I'm like 10 minutes in, but there's a reference to Jodie already. And I'm like, not good. Like, what? For what? There was no reason for it. Why would you want to? Let's say somebody took a massive shit in the middle of the room. Like, yeah, that So yeah, massive shit. Okay, imagine somebody took a massive shit in the middle of the room, and you couldn't leave the room, right? For some reason, I don't know. Okay, you got to fill this in. This has been, J.J. Abrams plotting. You can't leave the room. Would you mention the shit? No, I think you would wanted to not let's think about the good stuff. Like why? It just annoys people. Just annoys me. Why? In my head canon, it's been erased because it's so freaking stupid. Don't reference it because I'm not the only one who feels this way. And push comes to shove, you're going to be shoved. You're on thin bloody ice. So basically what happens is, by the way, I love the Missy box sets. Freaking love them. They're great. I want to be recommending them. Oh, Kip Ellis, good evening. Thank you so much for my sticker. I don't know what the sticker is, but it just says sticker. It's a super sticker. You know what? I thought it was a regular sticker at first. Now, it's super. Oh, well, I thought super. I don't know about you. Oh man, what's I talking about? Yeah. So it starts off with Missy being like bonkers Missy as always, and she's she meets this one female Time Lord who she assumes is a doctor, and she says, "I'm not the doctor, by the way, but I am an admirer of her work." I'm like, oh, really? You could maybe now was the time to go gender neutral, right? If you're going to go gender neutral, that will be the moment. But no, okay, it has to be feminine. Fine. Let's talk about my weird 24 hours. Actually, it goes. Let's talk about it in its entirety. It goes back longer than that. So, a few weeks ago, Noel, who was under complete harassment and attack, Tardiso Noel, was Matthew Jones, good evening, how are you? Had a spat with Ben Cook, right? Ben Cook of formerly of Doctor Who magazine. I don't want to say currently. I wouldn't want to tarnish the organization with him at this point. And it seemed quite vicious to me. It seemed like quite a vicious spat. But I figure, I think it's always good to look at people, positively, favorably. So I figure, look, maybe let's just say it was a moment of extreme anger. I could tell it really wasn't. It was more like, moralizing to make himself feel good about himself, and I can tell it then as well. But I thought if I could just get to talk to him like normally, right? Maybe we could just talk this out. Maybe we get this. Maybe this no isn't this terrible person you think he is, and maybe everything's okay. Maybe we can all be happy. That was really my naive, bewildered hippie thought on the matter. So he was quite derisive, and he wasn't so interested. I'm like, okay, no problem. But I've been fascinated with him ever since, because I'm new to Twitter. Okay, I really am. I'm new to Twitter. I've been using it with the channel for 6 months, a year, but I'm new to Twitter, right? and I'm like, this was the first, like, it was like when you make, if you're the Star Trek Enterprise and you make Warp 5, right? Yeah, out in space and you make your first contact with your first species. That was kind of like, that was the first time I like made contact with I heard about the awfulness of Twitter. You know, I was aware of it, but I hadn't really seen it. And I saw it, and it was with him. And like, just how derisive and mean he was to so many people, and like how many arguments he got in every single day. I was like, so I was really fascinated. I mean, I still am, because I think it's a real dichotomy, because I think he's a genuinely talented interviewer. Like his interviews and like that book, right? So, excellent. And I think the reason he's good, I'll go even further, is because he has a sensitivity, and and a bit of a sense of humor. You had a little bit of the pompousness, but like none of that anger, right? I didn't get any of that anger for his work, which I think might cripple it. Like the comedy shows, Saturday Night Live and all that. They just like, which I actually thought was funny. Like Saturday Night Live is just so angry and miserable. Just so angry and miserable now. And then so I got this thing with this woman. Again, on the last live stream, I mentioned her. I can't say her name. I was just about to. Whoops. Like she started messaging me on Facebook and Facebook Messenger. After because she's like so crazy. She does like my thumbnails generally take the piss. I do take the piss. I've always taken the piss. I'm actually very good at taking the piss. And, that's why I do. Why I do take the piss? Because I'm good at it. That's really why. And I like to do things I'm good at. Because I'm a bit of an egotist. So, I'd say all my worst traits I got from my mother, and I love all of them. So yeah, I was absolutely fascinated with him. And then yesterday, I saw him like having this spat with someone with his favorite thing about trans people, and he was like hammering. I saw him hammering the same guy over again. Why would women be afraid of trans women? Why wouldn't they like them in the browser? I'm waiting. What's your answer? And it was like 2 or 3 of them. I was like, oh bloody hell, dude, take a chill pill. So I thought I'll just answer him calmly. So I said, privacy. Women would like privacy. Some women would choose not to be in states of undress or immodesty with people with penises, even if those people who were penises, even if those penises were indeed female. Which I'm not questioning you that you believe that that penises can be female. I'm not questioning you. That's your belief. That's fine. I'm not even questioning the possibility of that being true. You know what? It doesn't seem that way to me, but everything I know about science could be wrong. Actually, honestly, I am. If anybody can say, "Oh no, really, gender is fluid," I'll be like, oh, "Okay." I mean, and it really, I was like, "Oh, okay, fine." But then I would. But listen, right now, I just see it as being a match of clashing beliefs. But yeah, as I've said this before, there's 3 ways one can think that anything is real. You have knowledge. You got 5 fingers in front of you. Knowledge. You have belief. Belief is when you have circumstantial evidence, like in the Middle Ages, people thought the sun and the moon rotated the Earth rather than other way around, right? That was a belief. Beliefs, I think, could more often than not be right, but often be wrong. Beliefs aren't anything. It's basically based on your biases, I think, and your prejudices. And then you have faith. That's faith. Faith is something you want to believe is true, regardless of the evidence, right? Yeah, that's essentially faith, right? That's where we are. So I would class gender being fluid as a belief. I don't think it's a sign. I don't think it's a closed science, like an established science point. I mean, I think if it is established, it'll be established that gender, generally speaking, for most human beings throughout history, hasn't been fluid. I don't think that's through societal conditioning. I think that's people generally think having a penis. I mean, generally, not. Listen, you may have a penis and be a woman. God bless you. I'm happy for you to be a woman with a penis. If that's what you believe. Listen, people believe all kinds of things. My people believe that there's a omnipresent God, right? And people think that idea is laughable. But people believe different things. That's basically it. It's so I think it's opposing beliefs, but they treat it as if it's not only fact, but it's an oppression if you don't believe it to be a fact. Sanctuary Geeks, good evening. How are you? And Derek Manners, how are you? I'm talking about our interesting day on Twitter. I guess I'm a bit of a Twitter savant. I'm new to it. So anyway, so I replied to him. Some women don't want to share, space of being in states of undress or immodesty with people with penises, even if those penises happen to be even female penises. Yeah. So then he said, well, he comes back to me. He's all ready to fight. He's like, yeah, you one. He's like, you know what he's like? At the end of the what's his name? The John Hurt adaptation of 1984, when they do the rat in the cage and he's wearing a mask, and his biggest fear is a rat eating his face. Yeah, rats eating. And there's like there's these rabid rats in his. He's got a mask and there's like a tube and the other thing with two rabid rats in it, and there's just two gates. He's about to let one gate out, and so together they're gonna eat his face. They are gonna eat his face unless he. So they let the first one, and then so they go through. And they're just at that last gate. You see them now, like, and that's what he's like. Right, get the how about women post? I'm like, so I reply to him, Ben, why do you want to fight? Because I don't know why he wanted to fight, but he wanted to fight. Why do you want to fight? Listen, it seems to me. Yeah, you're an intelligent and talented gentleman who's received fantastic breaks in life. I think you should be a very happy person. Go out and smell the roses. That makes him crazy. That makes him crazy. Because this is how he processes. Like, what? Because he was like a battle computer going, "What? I haven't seen this strategy before. This strange strategy. I can't understand." He's trying to like compute it. He's trying like this. And so he basically does, and he goes back and forth, and he like loses horribly. Then he he loses so horribly. Oh, like he said, I'm not gonna watch your videos. Like everybody thinks it's like being on my channel is some great prize for me. I mean, I like the content, but like I'm pretty good at coming up with it on my own. I don't really need you. But they do. They think I'm trying to. They think I'm like the witch from Snow White, like trying to. Enchant you into my dad. What do you think I can do? What do you think? I'm just talking. That's it. I have no power whatsoever. This is just talk. But listen, bottom line is, what I can do. It'll be the reason none of them talk. The reason, the obvious reason. The obvious reason none of them want to go face to face and talk, because they're talking gibberish and they bloody know it too. And they all be showed up like every bloody point. I was like, well, go for whatever you want. And whatever it is, it's gibberish. Fine. If you want to believe like penises can be female, that's your belief. I'm not raiding on your parade. Yeah, maybe they are. I don't know. But you're saying that I must adopt your beliefs under force of what? Shunning? No. Under force of what? A public shame? What? Why do I have to adopt your beliefs? Why are you such a zealot fascist? It doesn't seem that's what you want to be doing with your life. Just that. I don't know, because again, I like to view people positively, you know. So okay, so he is actually right in that this was a new and cunning battle strategy that he hasn't come across before. So this is what I like to try and do, and this is why I want to do this thing, because this is actually a very good way of dealing with people much like this. And it's, if you can do it, you will always win. Always win. There's no way you can lose. Okay, and it's true. It's be kind to them, but be genuinely kind. Be loving to them. So this is how you do it, because it's impossible. But this is how you do it. You try, and this works for me, because I'm a religious nut. But whatever you want to, like, however you want to conceptualize this, I try and view people as souls. People are like a soul within a body, right? And the body gets confused. The body basically has this thing in it called a lower soul, which is a short-term pleasure seeker, right? That will be like, if I do heroin, I'll feel good, and then that's that. And then you got your higher soul, which goes, well, wait a minute. But if we do heroin, we may become junkies and end up, dying, but not before we suck a lot of cock, to get heroin. Heroin may feel good, but it has some detrimental possibilities. And then the lower soul will go, no, I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound good. So you see, that's the dichotomy of life, right? Fine. What was it? So we have released. What were they just talking about? It was lower soul. Give me a second. I'll be right back. So we're talking about Benker, and is fine. Okay. Yes. No, I'm back. So this is what you do. I try and view. Eastland. Good evening. How are you? Or good morning, I should say for you. Good afternoon, actually. You might be. Chris Persia. How are you? I'm sorry I didn't see you. So you try and view people as a soul. Now, a soul is a good, pure thing that wants to connect to whatever the higher level about, right? But we're in bodies, and bodies have this like carnal, have these like negative desires. It feels good to put people down, right? Yeah, it feels good to be cruel, right? It does, and it does feel good. We all enjoy it, especially when someone's been cruel to us. It feels great, There's always a bit of quid pro quo. It feels good to be great. Yeah, there's a lot of negative behavior that the soul doesn't really want to do, but the body's like, but it feels good, baby. Right. And so, I try and look at the soul, right? And then I try and look at, where is that soul injured? In what way is that soul injured that he's acting in this way? Because that's what I believe. I believe there's some kind of wound, some kind of spiritual wound. And again, however you want to frame it, it's like however you want to frame it, it's cool. I think there's some kind of spiritual wound within someone that makes them act in such a terrible way. Right, I think it's So I was like, so what's going on with him? So I thought to myself, well, everybody said, oh, he's so young. But I thought, can't be that bloody young anymore, can he? I mean, you don't stay young forever, do you? So I was like, well, yeah, did he come on the scene like in the 2000s? So he must have been about 20 then. I was like, I don't know. So he's heading towards 40 now. I'm like, okay, so let's imagine heading towards 40. Now, I headed towards 40 about 10 years ago, right? And it is a significant milestone in a gentleman's life. Yeah, and by the time I was heading to 40, I'd got to a place where I was really quite happy where I was. I mean, my children were doing well. My children were all growing nicely. Thank God they've all grown into wonderful adults. Every one of them are. I think I couldn't be any more proud of them, because it's not that they're perfect people, because they're not. They're awesome, but they are. To a man, they are all the best versions of them that they could be, which is the best thing anyone could do. It's fantastic, and the best version of you can be gets better. The more that you're good, right? So by that time, I my children were growing. I had some like a decent home. I had a long-term relationship. I've been married for a long time. So I had a lot of like stuff of like real, genuine. What's the word I'm thinking? Like real genuine happiness with where I was in life, right? It was like, I could look at my life and say, it's been a tough slog. And it was. It's been, Stephanie Littlebage, good evening, good morning, how are you? And James Dawson, how are you? It's been a tough slog. There are sometimes it was scary, right? It's been a tough slog. But nothing of value comes easy. And the harder it is, the more valuable it is, right? When you had to when you have children and you just have to give unreservedly, it's just like, you could do that, or you can make them into like sociopaths. I'm like, I guess I gotta not play PlayStation then. Okay, fine. Yeah, but you stay up all night, you nurse your kid, you feed them, whatever. And then when they get older, their needs get different, and you have to keep giving it, adapting and giving in different ways, right? Like, they will stretch you and be like, "Whoa, I can't believe that." Yeah. And then when they hit teenagers, it's a whole different thing, because then they become like massive doofuses with hormones going crazy, they're screaming their heads off, right? And siblings always bicker. It's just the way they always do. Yeah, it's just what's gonna be, right? But in general, I was going to say that's like, and I think that's kind of like normal, right? That was like listen, some people, I get, some people break up, whatever. But I think that should at least be the goal, of I think that should be everybody's goal in life, and it's self-rewarding, self-fulfilling, and it's self-aggrandizing, because it makes you in a better person. It does. It makes you into a better person. And somebody hasn't gone through that, which I can see Ben Cook clearly hasn't, right? Thank you, Captain Cameron. Hello back. See, now I'm thinking Star Trek. Now I'm just like, but clearly that's the growth process he's never been through. Now, I think he's getting close to that point in life where he went, oh my God, what? I'm still where I was when I was 19. I don't know. Like, he's so proud of living in. I used to go to school in Camden. I like Camden. And I just think he's very indicative of this entire. I don't want to call them generation, because they're not kids. Kids look at them like, oh God, like 21, 22-year-olds look at them like they're assholes. Like, oh God, please don't say we're them. And I didn't know that either until I told Tom. It's like, oh no, we all hate them. Okay, like, oh, they're the worst generation ever, and they really are. And he's so indicative of that, because he's, again, talented, intelligent person, much like Paul Cornell. Talented, intelligent person. And here's the real tragedy. They had an ability to create a platform for themselves where they could have incredible financial success, right? Both of them. They'd already had a willing audience. That is 95, I would say 99% of building a platform. Making yourself a willing audience, right? They already had. Hey, no, how you doing, mate? 99% of building a platform, a commercial platform where you can sell things, where you can crowdsource projects, and you can be, you wouldn't be like Hugh Van Skyler. You're not making $1 million, but they can make 50 grand on a book, probably more they can get anywhere else. Both of them easily. And they just both blew it. And it's such a tragedy. They both just blew it. And they could have done anything, right? They could have done anything. And I wanted them to do something. That's the thing. When you look at him as a soul, you then feel bad for him, right? You then feel like, oh man, it's such a shame. It's such a shame that Leah Moore wrote an incredible letter about her father, Alan Moore. And he said, yeah, he's grumpy. He's grumpy and he's pissed off, right? He's been hurt by the comic book industry, and he's just stomping around and he's unhappy, right? But he's got pretty darn good reason to, and I do agree with him. I don't agree with his every behavior, but I haven't spoken to him. Some behavior seems strange, but I have enormous respect for Alan Moore, like enormous respect. I am convinced he is a prophet in the in the very biblical sense. Like I think he is intuited like deep Kabbalistic understandings of reality. Like, yeah, there's like these central, like deep philosophical works from like the 1500s, 1700s, like Path of the Just, the Way of God, Derek Hashem. These like really dense, intense Kabbalistic. You can go to any books on Kabbalistic things, but you will look at them and you'll fall asleep. But he's intuited I mean, I think his understanding of reality and mine are probably very similar. Anyway, so I got enormous reflection on it, and she said, "Can you imagine living in a world where Alan Moore wasn't hurt and upset? Can you imagine living in a world where he just turned out great comic after great comic after great comic, where we had like a Green Lantern run and we had a Wonder Woman run, and we had? Could you imagine all those incredible comic books, all those incredible comics that we didn't have? And it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy that we didn't have it. And I feel the same way about both Ben Cook and Paul Cornell. It's tragic. It's tragic that they've thrown away, their chance of real commercial success and being able to let their talent run wild and bloom on nothing. On nothing. All you had to do is pretend to be nice. That's all you had to do. And then that's it. That's it. I mean, you don't have to agree with everyone to say, well, your point of view, oh, fine, that's fair enough. Look, people are rude to them. I hear that. Okay, that'd be a bit. But if people are rude back to them, like most of the time, Ben Cook's rude to people. They think, yeah, okay. So I got a real breakdown on his standard battle strategies. Just so so if anybody runs into him, this is what you know. He's completely disingenuous, and dishonest. So, like for example, at the beginning of this thing, I said, you're spending your life arguing with people on Twitter, right? So then he went through my Twitter feed, because that's what psychopaths do. That's what insane people do. Where screen grab, you're telling this guy that saying, this guy was bullied, when I said, no, he wasn't. He was the bully. He's the one who ran somebody off Twitter. So like I replied, so he screenshotted that and he said, that's just the last day. And like, so that's such a disingenuous comparison. I compare the amount of times I'm on Twitter to the amount of times he is. Just compare the two, right? Compare the amount of times he's in an occasion on Twitter to mine. I'm probably about 3% of his, right? So I yes, that's what it means by being always. If you want to cut this back down by 97%, we'll agree. That's enough time to spend on Twitter, right? More than that, you're getting into crazy territory. And so that's what he will cherry pick things, ignore what he says, and try and intuit what he doesn't want to talk about. Ignore what he says and do it from a place of love. That was really like I genuinely feel terrible for him, because like he's so he's in this like self-defeating anger cycle. And I hope he gets out of it. I really genuinely do. Right? I hope he gets to like a anger management 12-step program. Like I really hope he does, because like he's still young enough. He can have a life. Right? He's still just young enough. Right? Not 3 years later, you're not going to be able to like hang out with your son when you want to. You're going to be too old. Right? You're going to be 50 when he's 10. That's too old, mate. You can still do it. You can still do it, right? And look, if you're gay, fine. So marry somebody and adopt, right? That experience of having children, of raising children, of being selfless, makes you into a much better person. Makes you he kept thinking I was trying to a little battle strategy. No, the battle strategy was I'm trying to be kind to you. And that's something that they can't process. They can't deal with. So that's really, so he was just like, falling apart. It was kind of like at one point he said, I'm not coming on your channel. I won't even watch your videos. They're too boring. Oh yeah, be aware. His favorite insult was to call you boring. He loves that. Ignore it. Ignore it completely. Okay, I should have called this the Ben Cook arguing guy. Just ignore it completely. You know, it's because it's boring. And if you want to reference it, saying, ironically, the use of calling things boring is getting a bit overused, getting a bit predictable. So they said, I'm not going to watch your videos. So then basically he couldn't help how stand it when I kept saying, look, just go get a life, mate. Be happy. Find someone. Go for it. And he just made him insane. So he wouldn't let it go. He wouldn't let it go. He kept replying to me and like tweeting me, and I kept replying to him. He said, "Why are you still talking to me?" I'm like, "Because you just spoke to me." It's crazy. So I said, "I'm not even watching your video." So then, just before he blocked me the first time, oh god, so funny. He'd gone to see my video. He downloaded and he put a supercut of a particularly funny opening monologue, and he didn't realize it was funny because they have no sense of humor, especially about themselves, because they all think they're the greatest thing ever. The reason they think they're the greatest things ever because they've done nothing with their lives. They're like, again, pushing 40. Yeah, it's like, again, they've done nothing with their lives, and that's why they've got all this like self-aggrandizement, right? So he put together a supercut, and the supercut, hilariously, is me taking the piss out of people exactly like him. Like, again, he solidified, like maybe uncharitably, he solidified my belief that if he's representative of Jody fans, and I believe he is, they're all morons. they're all the most terrible people, and I think they are. I just don't think they could ever come on with it. And they'll use every excuse in the world. Oh, you'll be rude to me. You'll use me. Okay, no, I don't need you. That's it. I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. He blocks you, thinking it's a punishment. But so what? Who cares? Like, it's so irrelevant. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So yeah. Oh yeah. So he made the super, and he didn't really. Yeah. So he's contradicted himself so many times. Oh. And then suddenly I got a couple of people told me to say, "Oh, he's tweeting about you again." So I had this other account on my phone, which I never liked. I said, "Oh, you know what? I'll go look at using that." I saw he was. I was like, "Oh, what are you doing, mate? Really? It's just sad." I laid out. I said, "Listen, mate, you're pushing 40. You got nothing going on in your life. It's not good for you. Yeah, it's not fair." Well, I said, it's green grabbed it. Let me see if I can find it. It's not fun. It's not funny. Where did I put that thing? It is. I think on the desk. Was it on the desktop somewhere? Yes, it was. Which one is it? There's so many of these. He's so freaking crazy. That's the truth. He's so freaking crazy. Oh god, he goes, and I thought the argument I had with him on Twitter yesterday was ridiculously long, was crazily long, right? And I can't find it. Maybe it's in the downloads, right? He does that all the time. It's crazy. Like, he just does that like over and over again to lots of people all the time. It's so weird. I hear about the file. Let me just share that. So this has been a truly weird 24 hours for me. I'm trying to work out how on earth this plays into it being 17th of Tammuz, the tragic fast day. Is it like what's going to happen? Okay, so yeah, so apparently what happened? Somebody explained to me because I didn't understand because I'm too much of an idiot. Let me try how to make this bigger. Oh, and I've got the little spinny wheel. Bollocks, fine. Oh, there you go. Doink, doink, doink. Okay, I can't. Oh, there you go. Fine. So yeah, so apparently he must have unblocked me because we were talking about it amongst ourselves. Hey, like, isn't that bonkers? Isn't that bonkers? Bonkers pen. I mean, isn't that bonkers? It's like, it's objectively insane behavior. Like, we're all going, well, that's cray-cray, right? That's just totally cray-cray. And we're basically, and I explain my theory to him and say, listen, I feel bad for him. He's a bit of a loser. I just do. Look at him. He looks like he's 19. He's 30 bloody, what, 7, 8? I don't know. Oh, but fine, whatever. Here, you'll see what's going on. So he says, thanks for your kind words, Biblical Comics. Dude, I just tell him as a theme. And your interest in my private life. Bit creepy. I'm not interest. I'm just trying to work out what makes you into this person, right? What makes me into me is genuinely happiness. Like I'm a happy guy. I don't think that's what's going on there, mate. Okay. Is this because I declined to appear on your on YouTube live stream? No. Okay, dude. You're not invited. Okay, you're fine. You stay there. Okay. I listen. Actually, now I'm going to be kind of if you ask me nicely. Okay, but I basically cool. I don't know what that face means. I don't speak emoji because I'm like an adult. So I don't know what that means. I told you yesterday, it's just not for me. Sorry. Yeah, no. Okay, this is how an example of how he's being totally disingenuous. Yeah, I kept telling him I don't care. I'm so fine. And he kept saying, oh, no. I kept telling you it didn't care and leave me alone, right? That's why you blocked me yesterday. Yesterday I said, listen, dude, just move on with your life. Enough already. I'm going to reply to you when you ask me things, but don't ask me anything, right? Let's move on. And he lost that mic drop moment, right? So then he made the super cut of me and blocked me, right? Thinking it was and I was like, oh, thank freaking God for that. Okay, fine. Here's a clip to illustrate why. You turn 49 next month. So he's trying to shame me for being 49. Now, the only reason the only reason you would think that work is you're a immature prick who doesn't understand that I'm actually kind of happy to be this age. So I replied to him using this thing, H Campus DC. Yeah, okay, guys, I don't know whose account this is, but you shouldn't have left it with me. But I mean, they hadn't used it in 10 years, so I'm like, whatever. I'm just using it. Oh my God, OMG, Ben. People told me you were tweeting about me again, and I just didn't believe it. It's true, I really didn't believe it. It's like, come on, that must be from yesterday. This is an old account I don't use much, and please go ahead and block me so I don't have to hear any of your infantile crying because I ask you why your life was so empty. And I'm not raging about Doctor Who. I'm taking the piss out of people like you. If you weren't so self-absorbed, if you weren't so absorbed in your imaginary self-importance, you would have got that. You did kind of prove my point by being a massive pussy and blocking me. But thank you for that. If I was going to edit that, if I had the edit, I'd say, but honestly, thank you for that. And then I finished off. And one final note, because he said, oh dear, you voted for me. Yes, I am nearly 50. And we're going to see his disingenuousness right in his next response. I've been married for over 20 years. I have 4 grown children that are wonderful adults, and they are. And a good, warm home. That's what people are supposed to do with their lives. If not, they end up like, someone like you. A bit harsh, but it's just a reality, isn't it? So then, let me see what these two, I think. Fine, yeah, I'll just share this. Application, there you go. So then, yeah, we're going to really see this here. You're trying to shame me for being 37 and not yet married with kids. No, but I do think that's a pathetic waste of life, right? I wasn't trying to shame you, okay? This is the difference. I wasn't trying to shame you. You were trying to shame me for being 49, right? You were trying to. What I was doing something totally different. I was calling you a loser. It's totally different. Totally different. You were doing shaming, which is what pussies do. I was going to look at you man to man and say, "Fuck me, you're a bit of a loser, aren't you?" Oh, Svi, I understand that. Firstly, I love that you think it's hilarious that you've got nothing to show for your life. Okay, fine, really? My life choices aren't any of your business. That's fair enough. I'm just telling it as I see it, mate. Yeah, I'm sorry. Just as yours, your family, your faith. Okay, where are you gonna go? Your weight. He so wanted to fat shame me, but he's caught by his own insane stupidity. Aren't any of mine? Aren't any of mine? Clearly, I've got into your head. I think we might be projecting, which is what Ben does a lot. Bit of a projector, but IDK. I don't know why. Jog on, pal. So I said, reply to him, no, Ben, I think you're shaming yourself in life and in Twitter. And again, I was responding to your slightly weird obsession you developed about me. Just let it go and move on, right? And then he blocked me again, I think. I don't know, because I don't care. I mean, I'm fascinated by care. How do you define care? I don't feel any emotional pain because of it. If that's how we're going to define care, I don't feel any real emotional pain. Fine, let me go through the chat and see if anybody will try to talk to me while I've been waffling on. I'm going to wrap up in a minute. Man. Here we go. Turn on monetization. That's a rookie move right there. Okay, now it's like now I got the spinny wheel from YouTube. Spinny wheel. Come on. Think about it. Oh, no, is it there? Yeah, we go. So I think I click here. Yes. Now I'll go through the chat. If you've added me, I should be able to see you. Fine, let's go. I think I'm cool. My husband said hello there. Good, I got that one. Bob Cordobel's in the house. Oh man, I've been wanting to get back to you. When you up for streaming? I'm so into doing something with you. That sounds really pervy. Unfortunately, Rabbi, science is now politicized. So yeah, science is all important if it's like climate change and non-existent if it's gender fluidity. So we cannot rely on the logic of science to prove or disprove reasoning to the irrational. Yes, and that's what they are. Okay, back. I think that's everyone. Hey, look at that. Well, I hope you had a pleasant evening going through that. Fine. Is there anything else to talk about? Rabbi, using logic and facts against persons like this, which is unfair, like being a sword fight with a guy with the air without a sword. It's so true. I mean, and they're so pompous as well. Oh man, it's just funny. It's just funny. Fine. Okay, that was basically it. That was like I don't want to like dwell on this forever. Okay, channel announcements. I think I'm going to do a stream tomorrow afternoon, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. Really want to talk about the expose. I'll show you the thumbnail. Look at that. You're going to get a real preview. Yeah, I'd say I am. What's the word? Very arrogant about my thumbnails. Where was it? Oh, here it is. Like I'm like, I like this one. Come on, open up. Come on, say hello. Something's happening. Talk amongst yourselves. Where is it? Come on, open up. Oh, there we go. So I'll go share screen. Application tab. There you go. The comic book inside the comic book Whisper Network, broken by Bleeding Fool. Really great article. I was going to say go and look at it, but no, wait until I do the stream on it. Whisper Networks, they said didn't exist. So here you have Gil Simone saying, "Oh, of course there's those silly Whisper Networks," and then she goes, "Max, have that questioner liquidated." Into which Max Versacio goes, "At once, mistress." Yeah, I'm putting a little production into it so yeah, so I'm going to do that tomorrow at 3, and then at it'll be about 5 o'clock. I'm going to drop the video vault, which is talking about Rumblefish. Next week's one is a really fun one. Oh, I want to ask everybody in the chat. Could you try and get in touch with us? I'm leaving tweets If anybody super chats him for me, I will pay you back as long as you get PayPal or some way I can get you money. But I can't super chat from Israel. It's a real pain in the ass. And so because I really want him to come into next week's one. We were recording on Wednesday, which is Blazing Saddles, and then after Blazing Saddles is going to be the Adventures of Baron Munchausen. And then I want to maybe do something a bit more contemporary. I got to do something that Ian likes, though. I always do movies he can't stand. I got to do something that make him happy. I hope he likes High Rise, although he doesn't like that artsy fartsy thing. If he likes High Rise, we'll do that. Or Gravity. Gravity is a great movie. Gravity, I think, is one of the best movies of the last decade. If it came out last decade, Gravity is a real classic. Gravity in 1917, I put like pretty similar. Pretty high up. I got to buy the DVD, Blu-ray of 1917. That's a good movie. Actually, that's not one. It's a good one doing the video about. But I like doing old ones. So it's going to be said Blazing Saddles and the Adventures of Baron Munchausen the week after. So yeah, anybody can get in touch with it. I've tweeted as, and I really want to get in contact with and see if I can get him on the panel. Right? If Catch as next streams, consider it done. You diamond, Chris. Plus we tried getting Purple to get his attention. She's not excellent. Oh, thank you. One of the great tragedies of the SJWs is they ruined the word community. They ruined it. They turned community to mean evil whisper network of gatekeepers of doom. And it's not that. It's like people just being nice to each other. Thank you very much. I do very much appreciate it. Fine, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to wish you all a good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending where you are in the world. I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. Who knows what's going to happen next? It didn't even name broadcast. There we go. I normally ask this. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're going away. Good evening.